everyone, and welcome back to the RMTV Women's Podcast. This is episode 128. Today, me and Amy are going to discuss a few different topics happening in the women's footballing world. But first, Amy, how are we on this lovely Tuesday evening?
Yeah, not bad. If anyone is wondering why I look so red, I'm not sure. I think it might be the central heating, but I'm looking very rosy. No, it's not sunburn. I wish it was. But I'm all right. How are you?
I'm all right. A bit tired, but
the
what? Effects of the day. It's 8:20.
It's because we're semi out of lockdown. Do you know what I mean? Like,
it is.
All the excitement.
Do you know what it is? I've been able to see like a couple of friends, obviously Rule of Six and all that jazz.
Yeah.
And the socialising has got to me.
Right.
I've done too much of it.
It's like I what is socialising?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I didn't realise how much of a strain it is on my my tiredness scale.
And I haven't even been to the pub yet.
No, me either. I'm saying to you before we start, I've not done anything yet that I have been allowed to do.
Yeah, my routine has not changed.
No, I'm kind of happy with that, I'm like, okay.
Working and all that, but it is what it is.
We'll get there eventually.
Yeah,
we're just taking it slow,
Yeah,
slow and
taking each day as it comes. Let us know if anyone's been, been out for the pubs, lockdown haircuts, all that jazz. Getting the eyebrows done on Friday, guys. I'm really excited.
As you can tell, I have not had a haircut yet.
I have.
Is it that obvious?
I had a cheeky little trim, so we're all good. But
well then.
Yeah. Carrying on with just a random chat. This question came to me as I was doing the agenda, and I was like, I'm going to ask Amy this. So the question is, if you woke up as an animal tomorrow morning, what animal would you want it to be and why?
These are the questions, people. These are the
questions.
The two that are kind of drawing me in is they're quite opposites. I mean, it's a giraffe or an elephant, my two favourite animals. So
I was thinking giraffe.
Like, I'm already halfway to being a giraffe in terms of the height scale, so I'm not really too sure if it would make that much difference.
I think it would make a bit of a difference, but
maybe a little one. But yeah, or an elephant, just because elephants are cool, aren't they? I like the way the trunk, when they drink, they shovel it in. It's amazing. So
I think you'd struggle to get out the bed if you were an elephant.
Oh, this house would be destroyed.
Yeah,
I don't think my parents would be very happy with.
No, I don't think you'd make it down the stairs in your house, to be honest with you.
No, probably not. It was a giraffe either, so we've not really thought this through. I mean, it depends whether are we waking up like in our house, or are we waking up in the area that a giraffe usually is, so like the desert?
No, like you're waking up in your own bed, like you will be in that room.
Imagine a giraffe trying to fit into this room.
Wouldn't happen.
No. So maybe we need to think more like practically here. Maybe
I was
a dog or a cat.
I've just been thinking monkey, because I wouldn't really lose that much of my own ability.
You'd still have thumbs.
Like thumbs, so I'd still be able to do like daily tasks.
Yeah, the monkey's a good one, or maybe like a cheetah, something run really fast. Or I don't know. There's plenty. A sloth. There you go. That's one.
I did think about a sloth before, but I think I'm going to go with monkey as my top one. I think that's more like practical. Like I wouldn't lose out on a lot.
Oh well.
Anyway,
moving on.
Yeah, well, one thing that is very exciting is that today marks 10 years since the Women's Super League was formed.
Wow. How old were we 10 years ago? 11. Wow.
11. This is on the day of film, by the way, so we are filming on Tuesday. This will go out Wednesday. But yeah, 10 years. So it was originally the Women's Premier League. It was transitioned to the Women's Super League, and then obviously a couple of seasons ago it was like the Barclays Women's Super League. So there's been quite a few changes. The first league, obviously, there was 8 semi-professional teams, and now we have 12 fully professional teams.
Wow.
So you've obviously had a bit of growth there. You've obviously the championship has been introduced, and then obviously the £20 million sponsorship with Barclays. So it's been quite the 10 years for women's football. I think you can obviously also add in all the recent stuff of the TV deals and record-breaking signings, all iconic players coming over, but it's just been a really, really good 10 years for women's football, really, hasn't it?
Oh, unbelievable. Like, I think whoever had this initial idea to obviously set up this league, I don't think they would probably have absolutely dreamed for it to be at this position, but probably didn't think that it would, like, obviously ever really happen. But I mean, here we are. And it's obviously not the end of the journey yet. There's still so much more to come. But I think the biggest thing is obviously it turning professional was a giant step in the right direction, and then to expand like even further, and ultimately it's created a community for people who really enjoy women's football and want to see the best players play against each other, especially obviously in an English league. And another point is, if you think of the amount of players it's attracted from other countries, other areas of the world, you'd probably go as far as say it's probably one of the best leagues in the world, if not the best league. So maybe you could, it's debatable between that and the NWSL, obviously. But yeah, I think it's been amazing, and obviously the league's come such a long way. But the most amazing for me is that it's obviously come this far, but there's obviously still so much more, which I think is probably the even more exciting thing. Like, it's been 10 years, okay, when 20 years is gone, where are we going to be then? Or like, what will have happened then? So it's all really, really exciting. And it's nice to sort of be a part of it in a way, isn't it?
Yeah, well, obviously we've only played like a small part over the last couple of seasons. Like we said, we were like 10, 11 when it first became like obviously Women's Super League. Obviously before that was the Premier League. Like we're not, can't remember that far back, to be honest with you. I don't know what was going on in my life at that point. First year seniors, so it wasn't,
Who knows what I was doing? Probably causing mayhem somewhere, to be honest.
Yeah, exactly. But there's been some iconic moments over the years, and obviously Liverpool's been a big part of them as well. Obviously we've had some like really iconic names play for Liverpool from like of the WSL era, and like obviously we've had some really iconic moments like winning back-to-back titles. Obviously, I think it was the 2013 season that like it was like we won it on the last day and whatnot. But it's nice that even though we're not in the WSL this season, we can still, look back on the history of Liverpool being one of like the founding teams and have really fond memories of that.
Oh, 1,000%. Like, when you, like, as you said, we were one of the founding teams, and obviously we're in WSL history for several things, being a founding member, winning titles back to back, some of the players that have played for us, becoming the first team to have a separate sponsor from the men's with Avon. That was a massive thing, and we were the first to do it. And now you see it happen quite frequently. So Liverpool have been a massive part of it, and it's such a shame that we're not in the WSL this season to sort of like be part of it even further, because we're such a part of that history. But we're still part of women's football in England, regardless of whether that's the top tier or the second tier. It's all got the same value, hasn't it? So it's nice to know that our club has been a massive part of what that league started out as, and obviously now what it is, and hopefully still to come be a part of it all. I just don't want to get relegated again. That's just no.
I know. I'm just looking because the Barclays WSL Instagram posted today a picture of like Chelsea versus Arsenal, which was like one of like I think that was like the final game of the season, I want to say, maybe, or I might be wrong on that. But there's one current Liverpool player who's playing that in that match. Can you name them? Have you seen it?
No, let's have a look.
No, can you guess? Based on that, so in our squad right now, there's a Liverpool player. Don't be
Jess Clark.
cheating. I can see you looking around.
Jess Clark.
It's not Jess Clark, no. Playing for Arsenal.
Is it Neve?
It is.
Ah, Neve Fahey. Go on,
Yeah,
Neve.
there she is.
Oh,
There
look
she
at
is.
She literally has not changed in age at all. Can I just say?
No, she looks exactly the same.
Literally.
Um,
Hey, that was a
I
good. That was
think,
all right for me. That, you know.
yeah, I feel like Becky James was a part of that Chelsea squad as well. I want to say that
Yeah, I've
season.
seen a photo of that today.
But yeah,
That's
so yeah,
crazy though. 10 years, man. That's mad.
I know you touched on it a little bit before, like, oh, maybe in 20 years or whatever, what can we say? But, like, what's one thing that you'd like in the next 10 years to happen for the Women's Super League?
Two things. I'm going to be greedy.
Okay.
I would like there to be more teams involved in a league. That would be amazing. Imagine the same amount as men's. Wow. And I would also really like all of the teams to have their own stadiums.
Nice
Capacity stadiums.
Nice.
Yeah. And also rid of all the financial problems that most of these teams have.
Yeah.
That would be amazing.
Yeah. I think, yeah, for me, like, I'd really want, like, the teams to be financially stable and everyone just have, like, I don't know, just for it to be run more proactively, I guess, maybe, like, so you have more staff members, obviously bigger squads, access to more money and stuff like that. And I think that will come. I think in the next 10 years it's definitely possible for that to be a reality for a lot of teams.
Yeah, I hope the access stays the same though. That's one thing I want to stay as it is. I think that's what makes the women's game unique and more attractive, because you have access to these players regardless of whether you're media or fans. They come sign things at the end of games, etc. So I'd really want that to stay the same.
Yeah, no, that's a really good point. Yeah, definitely. Because I think, like, the whole thing with, like, the men's leagues and whatnot, it's just, you don't get a sniff of anything, do you, really? Like,
Not at all.
if you met Mo Salah in the street, it's 1 in a million chance of that happening, whereas, you know, you're more likely to bump into, you know, Rachel Fainer's walking her dog on the Albert Dock.
That would be amazing, by the way. Let's make that happen.
Yeah, I mean, I'm surprised it hasn't happened.
Well,
I've definitely missed her by like 10 minutes I've seen via Instagram stories. I've missed her.
Lauren, you're letting down the team, girl.
I know, I'm sorry. I'll do better next time.
Okay, that's all I ask.
But, yeah, okay, I'll improve. Something Liverpool-based that we really enjoyed that we did on Sunday was we got to chat with LFC Boston about ourselves and how we got into doing all this and how we are where we are in life right now.
Where are we?
Who knows? But it was a nice hour-long live video that we did, but you can go back and watch it if you would like, if you missed it, if you didn't know that it was happening. So we'll leave a link to them and you can go back and check that out. But
it was really good fun, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was really good fun. We were quite nervous, weren't we? Like before, because we just didn't know how it was going to be. In terms of like the production of it all, like whether it was live, whether it was pre-recorded, like we just didn't know. So
I made way too many jokes. Just FYI, I tried to be funny. It didn't work.
You can never have too many jokes.
That's true.
But maybe that's
we rocked it.
Maybe that's just coming from me because that's just a daily occurrence. People seem to enjoy it though, and they seem to have a great time. So
it was good. It was good fun though.
It was really good fun, and we've been invited to Boston, so we clearly made an impression.
Yeah. Might have to finance the costs, but you know, we'll have to see.
Might have to sell me car, but
might have to, yeah.
But you know, that's the price you pay to have a good time. So I'm willing to do it.
One of our goals in the next 10 years has to be to get to Boston.
Yeah, Sam. But yeah, we'll go back to the footy chat, and one story I've seen before that was reported about 2 or 3 hours ago now is that West Ham captain Jelly Flaherty has called for full-time referees in WSL, and I think that's something really, really good to highlight, because all the officials in both the WSL and the FA and women's leagues below are obviously all part-time, and I think at times that's really hindered the game in sort of, you could say, progressing. I'm not sure the right way to maybe explain it, but there has been a lot of refereeing moments that have sort of stopped the game from developing, I suppose you could say. I think we've had countless conversations about this on this podcast, and we've had conversations with other people involved in women's football, as of loads of other people. So it's definitely an issue that probably needs to be highlighted, really, doesn't it?
Yeah, for sure. I think we've been calling for it for a long time as well, because it's the one area which I think sort of sticks out like a sore thumb, because if you are the league in itself, especially the WSL, is a full-time league. I don't know why you wouldn't have full-time referees alongside that. And it does tend to hinder the game. I mean, blatant decisions and things like that could be the difference, especially when you look how close to the top of the table is. Could be the difference between who wins or loses based on a wrong decision. Like, I know referees that are professional make mistakes, but I think it's just that next step that's needed. And you want the referee to affect the game as little as possible. And if you're giving these referees the proper training and treatment that they need, they're only going to excel. And then you can also look at it another way. If there are young girls out there that are wanting to become full-time referees in the WSL, there's hope there for them that they can make a full-time career out of it. But I think it would be a massive step in the right direction. And I hope that it gets implemented as soon as. I think that there's obviously no reason why it shouldn't. I think the example I use is obviously that female who refereed the first game in EFL a couple of weeks ago. I think it's Rebecca Gwen, something like that. And so she's obviously made her way up into the men's side. So interesting to see how that translates into the women's and how that can be done. But there's obviously work to be done there, and you'd sort of hope that happens sooner rather than later, especially now we're going on telly. We're on the telly on Sky Sports. That's going to have so many more people watching, and the last thing you want is everyone to be on social media absolutely ripping apart female referees, because you can already read the tweets, can't you? So it's something that I think definitely needs to be changed, and I'm pretty sure the female referees would also appreciate that as well.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that, like, TV wise. Like, obviously that's like the league's gonna be much more of a spotlight now. And like you said, like, simple refereeing decisions, hindering games and whatnot could be the difference. So I think it's definitely something that'll happen. But it was February this year, I think, that the FA's refereeing manager for the women's game said the organisation has no plans to introduce full-time referees to the top two tiers for at least 3 years. So
brilliant.
If you think about it, that's a big gap. 3 years, 3 seasons is a long time. You're talking what, like 2024, 2025 season?
Hell.
Think of the difference in the league from now to then. Think of everything that could go right. And, the refereeing standards are sort of left behind. And that's only when it's going to be introduced, never mind how it's going to go for that season and sort of play on from there. So, yeah, it's a big thing. But the fact that players are highlighting it as well is obviously means it's a big issue. So,
yeah,
it's definitely a big talking point that I think will be questioned a lot, especially, like you said, ahead of the big games being played on Sky Sports and BBC and stuff like that for the world to see. But we'll see how that goes. But
we hope.
Yeah, we hope it doesn't affect.
I can't see why not. To be honest, I don't see the reasoning why not.
I don't see why it isn't already a thing. To be honest.
Yeah, me too.
Like all the teams are full-time and professional. A lot of championship teams are or will be in the next few seasons. So
I guess it's maybe financial.
It's gotta be.
I don't
know. Be, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Be, but
the other thing that I thought was probably worth mentioning that we haven't written down is the update on the manager role for Liverpool.
Yes.
So I mean, it's not really a huge update. But I mean, it's kind of what we've all asked for. We've asked for them to be open with us and communicative with how... It's nice, that, wasn't it?
Is that a word? Communicative.
It's now. So it's nice that they've given us all the update. And basically, it's that... Let me read what I retweeted. It's easier. There was initial shortlist made. Everyone on that shortlist has been contacted or filtered down. And then a few have been selected for an interview, and I presume some sort of like practical assessment, all that kind of stuff. So I mean, the manager is within that circle. We don't know who that circle is, but I mean, it's moving. It's just been so slow, hasn't it?
Yeah. So what you're saying is they're in the little grabby machine. And the
claw is like coming down to try and pick it up.
Yeah, and
it's kind of just grasping at the moment.
Yeah,
it's not like firmly picking up.
Heavy mind.
Yeah, but I mean, I hope it's done soon. Do you reckon it'll be done before the end of the season?
Well, we've got 3 games left.
We do.
One, obviously, depending on how the cup goes.
I'm pretty sure we've got Leicester this weekend, Sheffield the weekend after, and London Bees at home the weekend after that, and then kabam. Unless we beat Leicester and then we play Burnley, we play United or Birmingham, I think it is.
We might just go on a mad cup run and just go and win the cup.
I'm absolutely here for that.
I'm
We're going to Wembley.
Yeah, we'll be there. I think they might. I think you've waited this long. You might as well wait until the season's finished.
Makes more sense. You don't want to disrupt progress, do you?
Exactly. It's only putting more disruption to the squad or the club at the minute than there already is. So
I can't wait to find out who it is. I'm really excited.
It's been so suspenseful. I don't like it.
That's not a word.
Suspenseful is.
It's full of suspense.
Suspenseful is a word, though.
That is not a word.
It is. I'm going to Google it.
Absolutely not.
Yours isn't. What did you even say?
Communicative. That is a word.
That's not a word.
It is. Let me Google. I'm pretty sure
Suspenseful. Yeah.
Communicative is also a word. Willing, eager, or able to talk on or impart information. So communicative is a word.
So suspenseful. Excited expectation or uncertainty about what may happen. Use it in a sentence. A thoroughly entertaining and suspenseful thriller.
Communicative. Use it in a sentence. Lou was a very communicative chap. Okay, so we both have words. Language, vocabulary on point.
Both have new words.
Oh
God, both have words.
Oh God. That's on the internet. Wow, we're good. We're really clever.
What a great way! What a great way to end the podcast.
Yeah.
Hope you enjoyed. We hope you enjoyed. Like we said, you can go and check out the LFC Boston interview that we did a few days ago. Also go and watch last week's podcast back again because it was just a great time.
Oh my God, I'm still laughing.
I'm still laughing about it now. Yeah.
What got me? It's when Tamsin was like, we're going to go for a brawl at Salford Quays, and that absolutely got me. I don't know why, I can't remember even the context, but just that sentence got me.
I'm standing by the fact that I am not getting involved in the forfeit if the forfeit is wearing a Man United shirt.
Oh, here we go.
I don't care. I don't care. I will drink from the football route, but I will not wear Man United's shirt. That's just a step too far, in my opinion. Just saying. But yeah, so go and watch all them back. But yeah, thank you very much for watching. Remember to like the video, comment, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you all next time with a new video. Bye.